So wiring is not a lot of fun. So if y'all watched that last video and you watched it all the way to the end, you will have seen a note that says that I could have saved a lot of time had I done some more research. That's exactly the case. When you're doing wiring, just make sure you know everything about the harness that you're working on, because that's one of the things that I didn't research enough, or at least even just dig into the car. So let me show you. So as I told you on the last video, I had made that relay there to activate the starter. Well, the car turned on, everything was good. Okay, the reason I did that is because the previous owner had ran a wire from the starter, like basically, let me see if I can show you this right here. He ran this wire with the proper connector for the starter, and this is like like a standalone wire. And after a lot of research, I finally found something that I started thinking, wait a minute, but why does this $1,200 $1,500 harness not have its own starter cable? Well, the harness does have a switch for the starter. However, the previous owner, I don't know why, thought it was a bright idea to not use it. So I was going through the harness, checking all the wires, and I found some plugs that were not used. This, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna find something else, but look what else I found. This right here. This is the starter wire, the starter plug. The only thing is that it has the older style connector, but it works. I tested it, I hooked up the battery, I put my test light to it, and when I turn the key, this turns on. The only thing I had to do was put the wire from the harness that's a starter switch, which is this black wire right here. All I had to do is put it onto the switch source from the fuse box. But since it has the wrong plug, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is cut this plug off and solder in the new one, and that's it. And I'm gonna be able to remove this wire here, which looks ugly, is that red wire. I'll be able to remove all of that crap right there, that relay and these wires running in here. Like, it's no point, that should not even be here. You just gotta research and you'll save time. It'll be a lot easier for you. Yeah, you might be trying to get everything done, but trust me, if you're patient, be patient, it'll be worth it. Even if it takes you a few days instead of a few hours, it's okay. It'll be worth it. Now that led me to want to make sure that everything else was done correctly, so I started looking at all this stuff here. So these wires here, I only have 4 wires that are not being used. This is called a flying lead harness, which basically is going to be like all your controls here, your AC, fans, speedometer, tach, all that stuff. This one here is for the switch reverse, but on this plug here there's 2 switches for the reverse side. So one of them is already hooked up, which is right here. So I'm gonna finish up the car, make sure there's no plugs missing from the transmission, and make sure the lights work, the reverse lights, because right now they don't turn on, but I'm not sure if there's something disconnected on the transmission. So I'm gonna check that first. If not, then I'll go back and I'll check this wire, see if this needs to be connected somewhere. The black wire is for a speedometer, but this is only for like an older, so I think this is for like a Nissan where they need a reluctor or something like that. The yellow one is a speed signal. Well, it already has a speed signal, which is that blue wire going up there. I'm not really sure if the speedometer even works, but I'm gonna have to test that. But like I said, just like the reverse lights, I'll check that once I have all this stuff more cleaned out, and I can actually drive the car before I go and move that wiring. and the other one, it is a fan trigger. So I'm not gonna worry about that, because I know the car does have the electric fans, so you can see there, it does have electric fans, but I am gonna get rid of that. Just to recap, 4 wires here. The fan, I'm not gonna need it. The other speed signal for the Nissan style, I'm not gonna need it. So that's that. I only have 2 wires here that I might need to do something with, and that is going to be the reverse lights and the speedometer one. But it's just 2 wires, so once I have all this stuff finished up, I'll go ahead and double check on that. It might work. I might not even need to touch those wires, but I'll check that later. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish that, and we should be done for the most part, with at least not to have to come back to it anytime soon. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and finish this up, and I'll get back to you guys here in a bit. Alright, so I got the wiring done, hopefully. But there we go. So this here, it turns out, is actually for the factory subwoofer stereo. I'm not even gonna worry about that. I was gonna take it off, but I mean, it's fine, it can stay there. So there's the wiring, tucked it all up. The ground trigger for the fuel pump, I run it through here, it's run out to the back. As you can see, no more relays, none of that crap there. This is all the wires that I was able to remove. And here now it looks somewhat cleaner. There's not those. I removed those wires here. We're running across there and into the bottom. And you can't see it, but that starter up there. So these are the plugs that are not being used. Fuel pressure. This is for the flex fuel, oil temp, and oil PSI. I gotta look into those. I know there's a oil pressure sensor right there behind the AC pump. I don't know how I'm gonna get to it because the plug won't fit. Anyways, it's fine though. Now the rest of it, I am gonna end up removing this. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna do like a custom setup back here. So I'm gonna take that off, and I gotta put some of this head shrink here on the ground. And after moving this around, this tray came with the car, and I saw he had already drilled holes for it. So I'm gonna just use this battery tray and just make like a bracket from, just a bracket to battery tie down is what they're called. Now this battery isn't charged, but I'm just gonna make sure that the starter turns over, and if so, that means I'm done with that part of the wiring. So let's see. All right, fuel pump. All right, y'all heard it. Yeah. All right, the starter turns over. Battery is not, it's drained. So all right, hopefully this is the last wiring video I have to do for y'all. I know this is not very entertaining, but on this next video, it should be pretty fun. So I was talking to my wife, and I was asking her about the videos, if she had seen everything, and she told me that it was good, but it was kind of boring for her. So I'm gonna be doing a transformation video for this car on the next one. And what I mean is basically doing the front lip, maybe doing the new lights. All right, that's too much information. Just stay tuned for the next video. The car is going to look completely different. Yeah, catch you on the next one.